Coming to Cant, you best not miss.
Let's go. Share the show. A lot of you have never shared the show. Let's get to it, people. Share the show. Share the show. Let's get to it, people. Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones. You know, I've been on my thing here lately. It's time for another one of our semi-serious conversations. I was about to say, we did a show on this before, but listen, listen, shout out to Miss Brenda over here in this situation, cracking it off ASAP early today. You heard what she said? Let's get it started with the turbulence. Listen, we're going to touch something today because things are happening. A thing has happened to black people. I understand that black people have been through a tremendous amount. Black people, another thing I just thought of that could have made the damn show better. And I'm thinking about it now. But listen. Yeah, I was about to say, I can pretty much guess who that is. Shout out to AJ in this situation. My brother, you already know what it is. AOSP, and shout out to the bro moderator signing the set. We're going to talk about some things that need talked about today. Listen, I know sometimes you guys say, I don't know what it is. They said it's dang it, what's the name? It's got a pretty cool name, actually. You can picture a black person naming their kid that. What is it called? An ashy spot? Derma? Eczema. You could though. Tell the truth. Where eczema at? Didn't I tell you to bring that damn C up to a D? I'm telling you, eczema. That's a black name. I don't care what you say. Listen. Topic of today's show: can blacks and whites truly be friends? Research suggests no. You can look this up. You can study this. Because there are elements that are required in order for blacks and whites to be friends. And I'm talking about legitimate friends who care about each other, who will hurt themselves for each other. Can most black people and most white people as a collective ever truly be friends? No. When I say friends, I don't mean co-workers or acquaintances or cool in passing or people who can get along. I'm talking about trust, empathy, shared understanding, emotional safety. Like I could tell this person anything, it'll never be used against me. See, the reason why blacks have that is because he can't say anything about me that I also couldn't use against him. But a white person can get mad and say, "You black ass spook." And we were just drinking. We were just drinking, right? Here's what blacks and whites can be. They could be respectful to one another. They could be respectful to one another. And that goes a long way. They can like each other. They can be cool. But my question is, you know what? We better not be able to do this. If we can do this, the show's going to get set off. I want to see if we can do this. This better not work. And matter of fact, okay, give me a second. I'm gonna try to pull something off. Let me try to pull something off. I'm going to see if I can get my brother up here. Let me see something. If two of these things that I'm about to try work, listen, people, it's going to be lit. Today is going to be a good day. If I can get two of these to pop off. Hell with this. If you're free, we're live right now, comma, got a topic going that I think might be interesting to you. Period. Pop up on me. Okay, now the second thing. If this works, today's show is going to be a thunderbolt. This better not work. Okay, boom. It's looking like this is going to work. This better not work. Boom. It looks like it's going to work, people. So we are going to have to do something. I'm going to have to do something real quick. We need one more stand. It was meant to be, people. It was meant to be. Let's go, Instagram. Let's go. Topic of today's show: can blacks and whites truly be friends? There's research that suggests no. There's research that suggests that blacks and whites, it would be very difficult as a collective to be dictionary definition friends. The reason that I say that is because blacks and whites can be respectful towards each other, right? They can be respectful towards each other. The history that we have and the amount of people that we have in the black community versus the amount of people that we have in the white community, it would be too many minds, too many opinions, differing opinions. This select group of people say they can get over things. This says they can't. And there's always, to be someone's friend, it suggests, even if you look it up, it suggests you would have to have trust amongst each other, right? You would have to have empathy amongst each other, shared understandings, emotional safety, loyalty, being able to be vulnerable, right? Being able to fully be yourself without code switching and respecting each other's lived experiences. The reason why I don't believe blacks, I don't care, like there could be a white person who you grew up with, both of you guys grew up in impoverished circumstances and things like that. Okay, I get that. That person will be able to identify with you. That person will have some shared experiences with you and things of that nature, right? But if we're being honest about it, blacks and whites have a history that is so sordid to where it's difficult for a lot of whites to have empathy, which is what is required in order for somebody to truly be your friend. Look all throughout social media. When you hear blacks talking about the things that they've been through, what will you see whites saying in the comments? That's a victim mentality that you have to get over. And they don't even know. It's almost like they're mocking something that's very, very painful to you. And in some cases, they might not be doing it on purpose. And that's the issue. That's the issue why it's very unlikely that blacks and whites can ever truly be friends. You have a significant portion of white Americans that hate, and I mean hate, black people's guts because of the color that they are, right? I don't think it's anything wrong with it. I don't think it's anything that's wrong with it. As long as you acknowledge what's taking place. If you keep it real with yourself, listen, they're waiting for a reason to attack black people. This is why when Charlie Kirk lost his life, historically, black colleges got bomb threats. The reason that is true is because they've always been looking for an excuse. I don't think that there's anything wrong with white people not liking black people, even white people being prejudiced against black people, as long as it doesn't turn into racism. Racism is when it turns into something physical that you can do to somebody, right? This is when you put action behind it. But I'm telling you, listen, I don't give a damn. Let's go. We're going to go here. Turbulence, people. For those of you who are not familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm probably about to ruffle some feathers or rock the boat a little bit. White people hate black people with a passion. They hate black people. Of course, not 100%, but the ones who don't like you really, really don't like you. Elon Musk does not like black people. He's so bold about it. If you go to Elon Musk's Twitter and you just see the things that he posts on a regular, okay, good one. The color is not what is hated. Now watch this. The color is not what is hated. It's certain behavior that is hated. Again, not the color. But if you could be a true friend, you would acknowledge how black people got the way that they are, that's causing them to demonstrate this disturbed, broken behavior. See, and that's what it says. The research says the reason that blacks and whites could never truly, you know what Joe Biden said? Joe Biden said they are super predators. It doesn't matter if we're the reason that they're like this. You pumped crack, the most addictive substance we've ever seen, into our neighborhoods and gave our mothers and fathers 50 years if they touched it, let alone the addiction that tore them to pieces. Listen, you know how we know that this is correct? Because of the last 15 years when the opioid epidemic hit the white community hard and all of the elements and all of the symptoms were in place to do to the white community what it did to the black community, guess what they did? They changed the laws to where they couldn't get penalized to the extent that blacks got penalized for touching crack. This is what I'm saying. Listen, they have laws that are being changed, trying to be petitioned to be changed today because they're unequal, they're unfair. Why do you think African American, listen, I'll tell you myself. When we see a young 9-year-old kid get gunned down, hopefully I said it right. When we see a 9-year-old white kid get gunned down, it does seem worse than if a black kid gets gunned down. It does. Because our 9-year-olds have been demonized. And in a lot of cases, they are more advanced and they probably do. Yeah, I'll say it. I don't care. I believe most 9-year-old, 10-year-old black kids probably are a little bit more raised to not look at white women a certain way. I was raised like that. I was warned, basically. I was raised to understand that blacks and whites aren't equal. And it's just the truth. I don't even know who Alex is, but check this out. Everybody on all of these platforms knows that me and Alex can have the same record. I can get caught with some crack. Alex can get caught with some crack. There's going to be two completely different penalizations. We all know that. Listen, and Alex is going to have a jury of his peers. Probably 10 of the people out of 12 are going to be white jurors, which they can sympathize with Alex. Guess what mines are going to be? I'm going to maybe have one black and one Latino. And everybody else will be stuck looking at me and judging me minus any empathy that could be afforded to me. Empathy is what is needed often in order for us to give someone a break. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand, you're in a country that hates you. You have to make the best of it. I want you guys to acknowledge when you see certain things that things have been done to you by white America. Basically, look at it like this. White America turned African Americans into monsters. Now they don't want to play with us now that we're monsters. They did this. They did this. You can Google it. You can Google this. Go to ChatGPT. It gets way more detailed. It's almost like ChatGPT is not even covering up or lying for it. It tells you the amounts of money that were spent in order to keep black people from excelling and advancing. Millions. Listen, it will tell you today how much money is spent to make sure blacks don't climb past a certain level. It'll even show you where the money is going, what programs it's going to. I want to say this to everybody. Imagine these circumstances be happening to a group of people. You don't think that group of people will feel it all throughout their bodies? You don't think we feel it when we see on TV another person, what neighborhood, why are you in this neighborhood? And listen, I get why people would say that. Black people do some effed up things. We really do. But the reason why blacks and whites can never be truly be friends is because in order to be friends, when I do something stupid, you have to be able to have empathy for me to not hold it against me for a duration of time. But you know why you can't hold it against me? I mean, why you can't have empathy for me? The reason I see black people do the dumbest ish on the planet, like, you ignorant fuck, why did you just do that? Stupid. You set us back 20 years. I see blacks do that. But guess what? I can also say, you know what'll keep my disdain for what I just saw from turning into hate? Well, that's another one of my brothers and sisters that's messed up. His mom was probably on crack. Might have even been sold to the local dealer for about an hour in order for... I understand what we've been through. So I can allow my disdain to keep from turning into hate. White people can't. They just look at it. Listen, especially the last 20 years generation who don't even know how we got turned into what we got turned into. And yes, we did get turned into something. We did. Our behavior is very unique. It is very different. A 9-year-old white boy is completely different from a 9-year-old black boy. Completely different. The 9-year-old black boy is more like 14, to be honest. More like 13 or something like that. The 9-year-old white boy has still got toys that he's playing with and things like that. Because if you look it up in ChatGPT, our music, listen, they won't give our positive influence rappers, they won't give them any deals. There is conversations, meetings that have been taking place for the last 30 years that hardcore rap music, violent, promiscuous rap music would be pushed through the black community just like crack was in order to fill up these prisons that are now privatized, and people can, even our senators can have stock in prison. Why would you invest in a business that you don't want to see do well? If I invest in a prison, what will make it do well? If people go to prison. So I almost have to be wanting people to go to prison. And who better than any other group? You don't have to believe this. You can get on ChatGPT and it will break it all the way down. It's almost like ChatGPT is like super unbiased. It really harshly tells you. What the hell is going on? Something is wrong. Okay, dang. Shout out to Bill 50, definitely in the building. Keep it going, G. The world needs you, especially us. You already know what it is, family. Love Lace, definitely in the building. Shout out to AJ up in this situation again. AJ said we have to have patience with each other. Patience for each other to a degree is important. I agree with that. I think that would be for Black, who all he raps about is the positivity of Black people. Who is that? Okay, the Black community has allowed the family to not have. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what. But Alex doesn't mean any harm. Alex, this is why I say Blacks and whites could never truly be friends, because especially if you're around 25 years old, you didn't get to see us get turned into this. I got to watch it. I got to watch it happen and unfold. I come from a small town where I saw, hey, Miss Marker, school librarians, school superintendents, pillars of the community. I watched with my own eyes the time that it happened, the bridge in which, when that thing hit the city that I'm from, which is only around 50,000 people, which gave us a clear view. We were doing chores for homework where I'm from. We were doing chores for homework. There was a small number of people from Chicago, about 15 people from Chicago, some cool guys, our age, 17, 18, came to my city, and they were more advanced than us. They were slanging that thing. I saw Miss Marker, school librarians, end up giving head for dope. I saw everybody change. They turned into zombies. I watched it with my own eyes. We're talking about pillars of the community. We are talking about really good people. Listen, people, my friends who used to do chores for allowances, they start pushing it. Listen, so Alex said the Black community has allowed the family to not have fathers. Boys don't learn good. Let's say this for what it really is. Turbulence, people. White America snatched our fathers out of the houses. Snatched them. I call the 1994 crack legislations laws, Violent Crime Act, I call it the father snatcher. We watched it do it. They pumped the most addictive substance we've ever seen in our lives into our communities. Then if we touched it, not only did we get strung out, right? But when they caught us with it, they gave us 50 fucking years in prison for being an addict. So where Alex says, you guys, look, what Alex say? The Black community has allowed the family to not have fathers? No, the white community was large in part responsible for that. And then those who had parents doing 50 years in prison and things like that, they're not being supervised, so guess what they're doing? Now they're having kids in the absence of the supervision of their parents. Now they're having kids, and they don't even know how to, maybe I should make sure that I have a father for my child. They're not being taught anything because their fathers are in prison. Why do you think the African American community has a 50% wrongful conviction rate? To keep quotas, Black people are having pops just placed on them. Cops get busted for it out here in LA, and it just doesn't make a lot of noise. There are gangs out here in LA inside the sheriff stations where they have tattoos. This is known. Ask anybody from California. There are gangs that have tattoos on them, and in order to get in these vicious gangs within the sheriff's department, you got to take somebody's life in the course of duty. What color do you think those people are typically going to be? They're not going to be white. They're not going to be white, right? So, and I don't think Alex means any harm. Alex is just not educated upon how we live, what we have to deal with. The transition was sudden but clear, and many of our black people are blinded to the white machine. I agree. I watched this thing unfold with my eyes. It was probably one of the greatest experiences to be able to witness it, because I saw what happens when people, listen, look at it like this. You know those modules? Hold on, my people, I got a real time, my people's super chats. Shout out to AJ up in this situation. AJ said, I taught my son the link between music and prison. You hear what I'm telling you? There's a reason that he knew he had to do that. Seriously. This is a machine that has been set off. Listen, shout out to AJ over here rocking with us again. AJ said, sympathizers of white tea wrongdoing come in all colors. I agree. But I believe this. When you hear blacks say, yeah. Anybody who don't know, listen, my mom got 75 fucking years in prison for a nonviolent crime for being addicted and had 5 kids. I've been trying for a while to look up the same instance in the white community. I haven't been able to find it, where a white woman who is addicted to drugs has been given 75 years in prison and had 5 kids. My mom had to fight her way out of that. It was gruesome. She did what? Did like 15 years of the sentence. For being a... Listen, check this out. And the same judge who gave my mom 75 years, 4 years later, was indicted for stealing that very same substance out of the evidence chambers and soliciting it to underage kids to have sex with him. Guess what he got? I remember it broad as day in the newspaper. Guess what the people were writing? He should be given a break, much as he's done for this community. What color do you think those people were? Right? He went to an honor camp. And then was released on house arrest early. See, these stories right here are nothing. In Chicago, do you guys know how many stories there are of these boys waking up to crates in the alley? Crates that look like they came from the military base with all kinds of high-tech advanced weaponry in it. Imagine that, just waking up to take out the trash and you see a crate that has the most sophisticated that you've ever seen. Switches, they call them switches. Where do you think they're getting these from? There's too many stories of people walking out and finding these for it not to be true. And then you have the interview of the Klan member saying, hell, we don't have to do anything to the N-words. All we have to do is drop weapons in Chicago and we'll watch them do themselves in. Say what you want to. Listen, why do you think President Trump is erasing black history? It is gruesome. He made that statement. He said, I don't want our kids and our grandkids to look at us like we were evil. So he's basically admitting the true things that we really did were evil. The Smithsonian got shut down, didn't it? I believe the Smithsonian got shut down. Listen, Summer said that's what happens in Chicago. Those things dropped off in Chicago, and you sit back and you watch broken, illiterate children do things to themselves with those. I challenge you, look up, do the research on ChatGPT. ChatGPT, okay, you know what? I have it up here right now. I'll read it. Damn it. Why I keep taking this down? But I'll still do it. I'll read to you what ChatGPT says about this. I asked ChatGPT because I'm ever on a journey trying to fix the black community. I'm ever on a journey trying to do this, right? Now, When you ask ChatGPT, because even black people are tired of black people taking each other's lives, you get to a point where you're like, hey man, what the hell is up with us, man, as great as we are, right? And you get to wondering. So I'm going to read you what ChatGPT says about it. I typed up and I asked ChatGPT, what did I say? Why are black people in Watts, South Central, and other neighborhoods, predominantly black, taking each other's lives so effortlessly, at such an effortless pace? Where's it at? Where's it at? ChatGPT told me, it said blacks are not taking each other's lives as effortlessly as you believe. It said there are things that have been put in place. It started talking about the government and everything. I'm going to pull it up here in a second. It gives a list of where the money goes to ensure that black people don't reach a certain level. It was talking about redlining. And people don't even, we use the word redlining, but I think that we refuse to give it the impact that it really deserves. It basically means making it hard for us to excel. Never mind, I don't want to even get into all of that. There we go, right there. I asked ChatGPT, I understand that the violence is high level and rampant. Make sure this is turned up. And it wasn't. I understand. Let me make sure this is turned up. I asked ChatGPT, I said, I understand that the violence is in high level and rampant in areas like South Central Los Angeles. I need you to identify to me what is the core reason based on research and historical data that African Americans are taking each other's lives so effortlessly in cities like Los Angeles. Look what ChatGPT said. In short, it's not that black people are effortlessly taking each other's life. The core driver, based on decades of research, is concentrated, man-made disadvantages in specific areas created by racism, segregation, and economic abandonment, plus GUNs and gangs sitting on top of that. Man-made circumstances. Listen, it goes so far as to say this. The violence in black parts of cities like LA is mostly the result of government and market decisions that packed black families into a few areas, starved those areas of jobs and investment, flooded them with drugs and GUNs, and then policed them harshly instead of repairing them. You got a beef, you got it with ChatGPT. Let's start by marrying and breathing with African American women that have to pay 20 cows for, we can fix this Western black fuckery. We can only outbreed it. And I agree with you about the outbreeding, but there won't be a large percentage of African American women that we'll be able to breed with and successfully produce kids that perform at an advanced level. They have black women seek to outcompete us. They want to show everybody that, yeah. And the reason that is because these aren't regular black women that we're dealing with. We're dealing with high-level, broken, and dysfunctional and psychologically damaged women who, on top of all that they went through from not having a father, and some of them have gotten touched, right? Things like that. On top of that, there's research that shows you what the rap industry did to these girls. They talk openly about giving BJs and getting pumped in the butt and all of these things. And listen, think about this. Some white people don't even mean any harm. They don't mean any harm. They just have questions. Davi in this situation rocking with us. They don't understand what they're seeing. If they're 30 years old, they don't understand what they're seeing in black people's behavior. White America created, physically created. Let's just call it what it is. Some would be referred to as super soldiers, but some could be referred to as white people created a monster mentality in labs. I'm telling you, white people created a monster mentality, instilled it in black people, Now they don't want to play with us no more. You created monsters that you don't want to play with anymore. And you did it. Everything and everybody, Putin has spoke about it. Everybody knows it. But here's why whites and blacks can't truly ever be friends. Because if white America was to admit we did all of this to black people, then conscience, if you have one, would kick in and they would have to empathize with some of the things that they see in the black community. But if you empathize with some of the things that you see in the black community, then that means when they do certain things, you have to kind of not hold it against them as much and try to do your part in seeing what you could do to make a contribution, make it better or something. But instead, most of white America says that's a victim mentality, right? Most of white America will say something like, I worked 2 jobs and da 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 da. These are jobs that you could get that we can't, even if there were a diner. I'm not saying black people can't work, but there is billions of dollars a year systematically placed in certain organizations, Planned Parenthood for one. You know how powerful that thing was? Our women have removed 20 million fetuses. Let's look at all the liquor stores and the distribution. I mean, you don't have to want to believe it, but the thing about it is this. White America's way of not believing the things that we say affect us is their way of not pointing the finger at themselves. Because this, why don't Asians act like blacks? Why don't Pacific Islanders act like blacks? Why don't Africans act like blacks? Because things have been done to us that have not been done to any other race of people. You think we're going to get better and you keep on throwing us in prisons? Listen, I call it criminal masterclass. You're going to throw me around 46 other criminals who were smarter than me, and now when I go in there, just our regular conversation, I'm learning how to do crime better. I have to fight and defend my stuff. You think that I'm not going to turn into a different individual? Even though I've been telling everybody that I didn't have that on me. That cop planted that on me, right? They'll say you're lying. Even though we have a 50% wrongfully, 50% wrongful conviction rate. Listen, I'll give this to white America. It is harsh. It's harsh to be able to say, I belong to a race of people that did. It doesn't matter. That's not even what the show is about today. That'll get nowhere. That'll get nowhere. I've seen it too many times on social media. But I think it is a blessing that we can be respectful to each other. I don't think that we can ever really be friends with white America because white America can't be empathetic to dumb things that they do when they see us do them. But they can listen. In white America, when they have kids acting out, guess what they say? Yeah, his parents are going through a divorce. But you won't say that about black America. And that's where the dissension continues to move. You cannot be a friend to us if you can't say, listen, how can you be a friend to somebody you can't never sympathize or empathize with? How? When they're sitting there sad and hurt about something. Look, Bronx said, I agree. I cannot be close friends. I say hi, but will never trust. You can't have a friend that you say you don't trust. Listen, I want somebody to tell us. I'm going to read some of these comments on Instagram. Another problem is with black men with status, NBA players and other stars. They have all of the money to go anywhere in the world and find a woman that was raised to be wise. But what do? Black men don't marry white women at the rate that you think. There's no race. Excuse me, please. There's no race of people, period, who dates outside of their race more than between 14 and 26%. None. We typically stay within our races. But I will say this: black women have swallowed hook, line, and sinker the fruit of the forbidden tree. I'm just gonna have to start reading these as they come. Shout out to my bro AJ in this situation, rocking with us again. AJ said, when blacks get house arrest, it's in the jail. Yep. They have studies on that. They have studies on the rate at which whites get house arrest and the rates at which blacks aren't even afforded that luxury. They just go home, go to jail. Look, I said go home. It might as well be. I'm on it, AJ. I'm on it. I appreciate you letting me know too. The thing be filled up so much, man. Sometimes I don't listen. Those of you who have sent me messages that you really want me to check out on Instagram, my stuff is like flooded. I get depressed even going into it. I do appreciate people reaching out to me and things like that. Listen, and also it's come to my attention. Some of you go in my DMs for my one-on-ones. Go to stacyprince.com. That's how you book a one-on-one session with me. It's only $75. You know, we bring it down just so people can really get the impact of, a conversation. Yeah, those of you who have sent me messages, Facebook, Instagram, it's saturated. So if it's something that you really need me to see, say something when we're on the live and I'll make sure I go check it out. Okay. You can join the military as a black man and move to a nonviolent area. Okay, what about when you've been taught all your life, even in all of our movies? White man's army ain't no place for a black man. Still see what I'm saying? We've been scarred so bad that we've had to build up defenses again. Me, myself, I think the military is far greater than going to prison, far greater than being in a gang. But our people experienced such high levels of detriment, they completely built a wall up against white America. Like, we don't want nothing you got, right? Even if it's something good, we're just skeptical. Then you hear about the Tuskegee Airmen. Then you hear about, yeah, man, these people. This is why I say, do you know how hard it would be, like me, myself, to trust my life with a white person? Are you out of your... I got one that is so close to me. If I lose anything right now, he's 80 years old, and I know I can go stay with him. White man, pure white, has shown me more love than a significant number of black people. Right? But I am aware, just like it was Instagram. When Charlie Kirk first lost his life, I was unaware that I had so many white subscribers, because look at my content. Out of, I think now I have 100 and something thousand subscribers. At the time I had 75. When I said I was not a fan of Charlie Kirk's, but nobody should lose their life, down in my comments, it was porch monkey, nigger, coon, all of that. So what black people have come to understand is that women would take their assistance. What black people have come to understand through trial and error is when you do really, really rock with a white person like that, of course, not all, but for the most part, when you rock with a white person, you guys are friends until you piss him off or until you disagree with something that he holds dear to his heart. America literally tried to make black people feel the way about Charlie Kirk that they did. It's like me trying to shame you guys for not having Malcolm X posters in your house. And listen, I am the first to tell you guys, black people do some really messed up things. But it's because of what was done to us. And what still gets done to us. There is massive amounts of... There's a woman who just released another study. I forget what corporation she owns. She took it up on herself to do a study. She said being black is the equivalent of having a felony on your application. I'm telling you, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to logic. Hate me, but listen to logic. Hey, look. We got one. We got a house nigga over here that says, "Then moved out of America." Simple. America belongs to me just as much as it does any white person. How about that? How about that? I know how America was built. And I'm going to say this to black people. Those of you who in your city, you've walked past several very eccentric lounges. It's pretty much white predominantly white, things like that. And you like, no, that's white dominant. Predominantly white. I wouldn't go. There is no place that you don't have a right to go to in America. Do you know how America became what the hell it is? Your people had their throats slit behind this stuff. America would not be America, and we all know this. America would not be America without free slave labor. It simply would not. Everybody knows that. You have just as much right to be here as anybody. So don't let some weirdo like this say, then move out of America then. I'm just as much entitled to the perks of America than anybody is. And I'm just as much entitled to say what the hell I want to say about the wrongdoing that takes place in America. America does not belong to you, me, you. It does me. Trust that with your. If it's black. This is another thing that we have. Could be a white person behind that account. I don't know. But I'll do it like this. Let's do it like this. Anybody who has any vitriol about anything that I've said, step up to the plate and challenge my ideologies. How about that? Let's do it like that. Let's remove personal feelings aside from this. Name something that I have said that cannot be proven right. Let's do it like that. Addy Dokes, let's do it like that. Matter of fact, I'll summon you up here. Let's do it like that. Let's do it like that. Listen, I am not removed away from letting people come up. Those are the people I respect. The people who will say something. Hold on. What?
Can you hear me?
Just bad. I can hear you. Is your picture up?
Yeah, I was about to go to my bed. It's just stopped.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it if the picture's not up. I can hear you, so that's enough. So listen, you say then move out of America then?
Right. What I was saying is everything you said was right.
Okay, some people, I'm going to go ahead and play off of that. Some people say if you don't like what's going on in America, move out of America. Let me ask you, do you believe this? Do you believe that I have just as much right as lay claim in America as anybody else? Can you hear me? Are you here? Can't I drop? Phone died over here on TikTok. Let me get him off of here.
Cops are to black men what nurses are to black women.
Come on. Resume. Let's go, people. Okay, we got TikTok back in the building. Listen, how do I get him off of here? What the hell? Why do they make this so damn difficult? There you go. Listen, you know, people say that we're demonstrating a victim mentality when we talk about this stuff. No, we're being affected by it every day. Seriously. We're affected by this stuff every day. It's PTSD, like at the highest level. Me, myself, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I probably do better than the average white person. But even when I'm around somewhere, I'm conscious that I may be being perceived a certain way. If I'm standing right here, maybe in the bank line. Listen, look this up for your education. Look this up on ChatGPT, on Grok, right? On Gemini, on anything. Look up how many billions of dollars a year are spent demonizing black people. It will tell you where the money's going, what type of campaigns are being used. Elon Musk has already been busted removing the bad images of white people off of his site when people post the stats of what white Americans do and pushing the ones up of what black people do. He's already been busted. I feel you, Addie. I feel you. No, Addie. Okay, I agree. Addie said you're 100 right. What I was saying was it's better to come up with solutions than to complain. You have every right a white person has. Okay, we're not complaining up here. I'm letting African American see. It's so unpleasant, so painful being black in America, to where you have a lot of people. I don't want to give anybody any clout, so I'm not even going to say their names, but you have black people who start channels based off of talking about how bad of behavior black people have. You know what that is? That's people who have walked so long inside of the hurt and the unpleasantness that is associated with being black in America, to where they can't take it anymore. They just assume, well, let me see, if I say bad things about black people, maybe white people will look at me like I'm one of them. Yes. Yes. Trust and believe that's taking place. Nah, I apologize if I was wrong, Addie Dokes. I apologize if I was wrong. But when you make statements like then move out of America, then that's offensive to people, though, brother. It really is. It's offensive. Okay, this is somebody trying to utilize Charlie Kirk's talking points, not knowing that I was waiting to blow Charlie Kirk's ass out of the water with this very same talking point. Look what he says. Name one thing a white person can do that you can't do. Get in trouble in the American justice system and survive it. Now what? I'll pull the damn research up right now. See, he doesn't have his own information. He heard Charlie Kirk say that, and he doesn't know I told you guys 3 weeks before Charlie Kirk lost his life, I wanted a piece of his ass. That's why he was going to college campuses. He wasn't talking to men like myself about these things, because we could have fired back at it like effortlessly. Okay, and not only that, a white person can get a job at a rate at which I can't. There's studies behind this. There's a study conducted by a white woman that suggested, as it pertains to job seeking, being black is the equivalent of having a felony on your record. The forgiveness rate in America, as it pertains to blacks and whites, is different. America is more understanding of whites' mistakes and of, listen, they had, some of you know about this. I'm in LA. Some of you know about this. The white boy that he decided he wanted to merge on over here to, he had already built him a network on social media of Crips and Bloods, legitimate Crips and Bloods, came over here to this area and started hanging with them, driving his Mercedes and things like that. And they saw some ops, right? So he drove the homeboys by to pop him. Who do you guys think got off? He was going through something. His mom and dad were into it, and he was just acting out. You will never, ever, 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 ever hear an instance like that about a black man. Never. So to answer your question, name one thing a white person can do that I can't. If white people have studies on this. Even the rate at which a white person gets house arrest for the same crime that a black person with the same record did, the black person is going to jail. I think it is 15% higher. 15% higher. Okay. Now, when you take that into consideration, you also acknowledge America has the most amazing and beautiful judicial system in the world. It is amazing. It's amazing to white people. It's not amazing to black people. The American judicial system, when functioning correctly, is beautiful. It is beautiful, right? A jury of your peers, some of them will be like, I even believe he did it, but they said his mom and dad. See, when you are black, you don't get a jury of your peers. You will get out of 12 jurors, you will get about 10 white people, a Latino, and maybe a black. White people get the 10 white people and look even in the police system. Look even in the police system. It's so bad being black in America that if you have black cops, they will be bad to other black people just to show their white partners, I'm not showing any favoritism towards my race. Who disagrees with this? So take that back to Charlie Kirk's catalog. And if you want, you can come up and prove me wrong about anything. We can square off with this. I wanted Charlie Kirk, but I'll take one of his followers. What? Bro, I got to go check that out then. Remember when Roland Martin? I got to go check that out. Spotlight on me in this situation. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. Check this out. Mr. Prince, I want to tell you something. I used to have a victim mentality in my younger years. Since making 180 turn mentality, my whole life has changed. I went from inspecting to creating. Brother, let me help you understand something. The life I live is a dream. Everybody knows I say it every day. The life that I live is a dream. The average person does not have going on what I have going on. Right? My life is amazing. Brother, what the hell reason do I have to have a victim mentality? For winning? Doesn't make sense to you either, does it? What if? I'm just telling the truth. See, this is what no one wants to acknowledge. Come up and prove me wrong. How about that? And if you don't think right now, for those of you who won't accept my invitation, you know why you won't. And if it's along the lines of, well, off the top of my head, I can't prove him wrong. Could it be that I'm not wrong? Could it be that I'm not wrong? And if I'm not wrong, what's wrong with saying it? Check this out. I wish African American men stopped taking each other's lives at such a disproportionate rate. I wish African American men push through all that they have been through and be better damn fathers. I didn't turn into salt by saying that. I just told the truth. But it strikes me odd that when it comes to telling the truth for other people, they cannot do it. They cannot do it. No, I appreciate that, Miss Vicky. Here's a cool thing that we're not looking at it correctly. Just because whites and blacks probably can never, as a whole, as a collective, be friends, what's wrong with us being respectful towards each other? What's wrong with us being cordial? Nothing. But listen, shout out to my bro. Shout out to my bro AJ in this situation, rocking it off again. When you discuss, talk that talk. Listen, AJ said when you discuss black challenges, it's complaining. It's victim mentality. So we can never be friends. Because I could never tell you Yeah, man. When my mom was gone, I used to think all kinds of things, and it used to. You don't even know what that did to me psychologically. I might be illiterate, but you're not gonna take it like that. You're gonna tell me I'm not trying hard enough. No, fool, I'm illiterate. I can barely read. I try to put on a front so you won't never catch me, but something's wrong with me, right? Nobody wants to talk about it. Listen, okay, so you know what? Who is that? Addie, I'm going to try to bring Addie up here again. Listen, I have a question for you, Addie. If what I'm saying is wrong, why is Donald Trump removing all of that stuff out of these museums? Why did he say, I don't want our children and our grandchildren to look at us like we were evil people? Tell me, answer that, Addie. I'd like for you to answer that. Since you don't believe nothing was done, why are other powerful people more knowledgeable up on it than you, trying to actually cover it up? Talk to me. Listen, and I think Addie is black. Fighting hard about this, ain't he? But we only make up 13% of the population. I'm trying to figure out what that means. I don't know what that's pertaining to. Wow. Oh my fucking gosh. They've done a number on us. They have done a number on us. They even have black people convinced that, listen, if you have a better representation, you will have a better outcome in the justice system, no matter if you are white or black. So please, you know what? I'll bring you up here. Let's do it like that. Never mind. If what you're saying is true, why do blacks have a 50% overturned wrongful conviction rate? I listen to this stuff sometimes. I'm like, what rock have these people been hiding under? Basically, if we behave better, Emmett Till, they won't mess with us. Black Wall Street. Do you guys know how many Black Wall Streets were burnt to the ground? Around 50 of them. You guys only know about Black Wall Street. Addie, I just can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Listen, you're not from America, are you?
Listen, I agree to everything you say, right?
No, but hold
What I'm saying
on. I'm just asking you a question. You're not from America, are you?
I live in the Bahamas, but I get a lot of family in America, so.
Okay, that explains. Yeah, because listen, let me ask you this. My life is above average. I live an above average life. I have checked off boxes of my portfolio. Being honest, in my humble, is amazing. Can you tell me why somebody who's claiming to have achieved as much as I have would have a victim mentality?
No, I'm not saying you have a victim mentality. What I'm saying to you is, tell other black men how they could obtain a beautiful life like yours.
Well, listen, some people have been damaged more than I have. Listen, they got the football player over here at Polytechnic High School. Got set up by a girl, and she's just now coming out admitting that he didn't touch me. That man lost 7 years of his life. You think he came out okay? We don't know if he went in there and got his taken.
Right.
Hey Stacy, we can't hear the guest on TikTok.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, so I know what to do. Okay. Addie. Okay, I have to do it like this. TikTok. All right, so here's what I'm saying. Tell me this about what I've said. Like, do you think that it's just as easy for a black person to succeed in America as it is for a white person. Okay, do you think that even on a violent level, that blacks experience more violence from the police than whites do?
Percentage-wise, but not overall.
Say it one more time.
Percentage-wise, but not overall.
I don't think I understand that. You said percentage wise, but not overall. Per capita, if you line up 100,000 blacks and 100,000 whites, and they all get arrested for the same crime, and they all and they all have the same background, who's going to receive more leniency? You said blacks are going to receive more leniency? I agree. Okay. Do you know the trauma that is associated just with knowing that I live in a country, just with knowing that I live in a country where this person is superior to me? Do you believe that the treatment that white Americans receive in America makes them superior to us? Do you know what will happen if you put your hands on a white woman? Do you know what will happen if you Yeah, and that's why I had to ask you where you from here, because it didn't sound like you were. It's different over here. It's different. Listen, hold on. Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. Do you know that you can work somewhere in America and you can call a black person a nigger, and if you get fired from your job, white America will raise $1 million for you on GoFundMe? Yeah, brother. And that's why I say it's almost futile to talk to somebody who don't live over here, because the circumstances are.
I want to say something. America's my second home, you know, about the Bahamas, the proximity. So I face a lot of things, and my family face a lot of things you talk about. I experienced getting pulled over from cops for no reason because I'm always in America as a black woman.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming up, man. I just think this, man. A lot of black people have been destroyed mentally. Their minds aren't even right. They're taking each other's lives in broad daylight, man. You think normal people do that? You think people who there's nothing wrong with them do stuff like that, man? Just walk up to each other and pop each other in the head. You think there's nothing wrong with these people? These people, I teach people this. Just because someone's not like this and foaming at the mouth, that does not mean that there's nothing wrong with them. Black people are messed up. Do you agree with that? And do you agree? Listen, let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you this. What percentage of African Americans would you say are mentally ill past the threshold of 5?
To some degree, about at least 50 to 60%.
Yes, about 70%. If you're black in America, you're messed up. We have been taught that whites are superior to us. We've been shown that whites are superior to us. That's traumatizing by itself, brother.
I grew up messed up too. But you know what saved me? Reading books and educating myself and trying to change my mentality. I grew up with the same mentality as other black people.
Brother, it means you're a special individual. It means you're an exceptional person. You're an above average individual who could compute. Do you know that different computers have different processing speeds? That's why some computers cost more than others. So what about the black guy who he hangs with us every day and he's cool as hell, but he doesn't know 6 times 6. He's been living on the streets since he was 13. Older people have been hiring him to let these go. These people are messed up, man. That guy that took Nipsey Hussle's life did it in broad daylight, and he didn't even try to get away with it. What type of person says, I'm willing to throw my life away forever? It's a messed up person, brother. And I think oftentimes we get caught up, the intellect that we have, we get caught up pushing that off on other people. Brother, I've met people who can't read. Could you imagine trying to think your way out of problems and your critical thinking skills are extremely low, your cognitive skills are extremely low, your reading and comprehension skills are almost non-existent, your problem solving skills are exceedingly low because around the time you were 13 and those skill sets were supposed to be developing, you were living inside of a sense of urgency, which studies show interrupt those skills as they're developing. So you might have a 30-year-old person, man, with the problem-solving skills of a 5-year-old. And listen, look how offensive it is to that person that somebody will say, you could do better. Stop being a victim. He's like, motherfucker, I can't read. Listen, check this out. Let's talk about the part where I can tell you why I do some of the messed up things that I do, but I don't want to tell you that I don't know how to read. And I'm not going to tell you. So now you just have to look at me like somebody who F's up all the time. But if I were to tell you that I can't really put things together adequately in my head, then you would understand. But I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to diminish my own worth. It's a messed up cycle, brother. It is. These people aren't just saying to themselves, you know what? I want to join a gang and eventually lose my life. Just think about the things we do and ask yourself what kind of person would do these things, man. Listen, check this out. I'm going to put this on you. I'm coming to you, ZF. I'm going to put this on you. Name me another demographic of people in America who behave as dysfunctional as African Americans do. I agree. Name me a group of people in America who have received the equal treatments that African Americans have received in America. So what year did they go into slavery? Okay, what year? Listen, the communities they started, what year did white people follow behind them burning their communities down? What year was that? Brother, people say, how come you guys haven't built your own communities yet? Because every damn time we did, you burnt them down. Do you know how long it takes to build a community? Listen, imagine if every time we build us Black Wall Street had 27 stores. They said it'd be, we know the number is low now. They said, let me see, they had, what was it? I think 25 grocery stores. This was a thriving community. How long do you think it took to build that? Yeah, at least. And imagine somebody coming and setting it on fire. And then listen, you try to build another one and they come pillage and 170 people lose their lives. If you can't rebuild, you can't rebuild. If you can't rebuild, you have nothing of your own to believe in. African Americans have nothing to believe in. Listen, I forget. AZF, let me ask you this. There was it a president? Was it Lyndon B? Who was it? There was a president that we had who acknowledged that there will never be another black leader. You started taking the lives of all of our black leaders. Why? Because the world knows if blacks ever get organized, Lord God up in heaven above. So, brother, we have a foot on our necks constantly. Constantly. Do you know who they privatized prisons? So now they utilize rap music to create psychotic behavior in our children. Hey, they don't have any Jewish rap artists doing that. They have very little white artists doing that. They won't tolerate it. Yeah, go ahead, sure. It's called the worldwide internet, brother. You can't hide anything from the internet. Listen, if you do try to hide the internet from your children, you really only make them at a disadvantage to other people who have access to the internet. How can you get even 3 hours worth of access of the internet and not come across Cardi B, not come across Sexy Red? See what I'm saying? Listen, you have to ask yourself, why don't they have these type of artists in the Asian community, in the Jewish community? The Asian community have leaders, and they would rise up and they would boycott certain major retail chains. Black people are broken and poor, man. You should look this up on your own time on ChatGPT. You should look this up, really. The read is very astounding. It's very... ChatGPT goes into detail about what organizations are receiving certain amounts of money to put blacks at disadvantages. You got anything else for me? Go ahead. The solution is being aware of our The solution is to really be aware of our circumstances. That way we will know how to move. Black people, segregation was one of the greatest things. If we could have kept it going, segregation, we would be straight right now. We were never supposed to integrate. Yeah, and not even just the unity. We would have been forced to build our own hospitals. We would have been forced to build our own supermarkets. But because we found out we can go to the white people hospital, then that took away any incentive for us to have an urgency about making our own. It messed us up. Listen, all of our talent started getting stolen. We run the music industry, but we don't own our own music. We run the sports and athletics, but our people are basically purchased slaves, is what they are. How come we don't have our own NBA, even though we're the most polarizing figures in the NBA? Because they won't let us buy ownership. It's all very strategic. And to be honest, the reason we know is because it makes sense to me. To not let us get into power to where we could be a formidable opponent. African Americans, somebody down there said, but we're only 13% of the population. You know how powerful we are? We're 13% of the population, yet if you look it up right now, African Americans are the most influential group of people on the entire planet. On the entire planet. So that means we have leverage to sell. Give me a second here. People down here setting it off. Dove even hit us with a super chat. What's really going on? I'm going to read what AJ said again, though. Shout out to my bro over here rocking hard with us. Hey, AJ, he said this a while ago, but I got to read it again. When you discuss black challenges, it's complaining. It's